We are live. We are playing Riku of Two Reflections, Tectonic Giant deck. Let's take a look at this opener. Two lands, a little dicey. Got a Kodama's Reach though, and that finds our creature. If we don't find a third land though, it's kind of dicey. I'm gonna mulligan that. It seems a little risky. Into ramp and card draw. Ramp and card draw seems good. That seems like a plan. What's up, Rusty? Welcome. Congrats on being first. We'll keep this one. We got two artifact decks in the house. Champ's going to be playing Esper Vehicles with Rebecca and Silas. And Sean's going to be piloting Rebecca and Alina, which is his artifact critter, Stumpy. And I put a Subterranean Tremors in the deck, not because they were playing those decks, but just because I'm like, I'm playing Teamer today, and I never get to run Subterranean Tremors as much as I like, so if we run into that, that will be a really bad time for them. What up, Doc? It's going. Going all right. Having a decent Friday afternoon. How about you? There's a tap land. We'll play a tap land first. Oh, we could have played the thingy. We could have played that thingy first. Is he going to let us do it? Nope. There was a little bit of lag right there. Yep, probably should have went with that. Next turn, hopefully opponents don't cough down all the stuff and make us hate life for me not paying attention right there. Rebecca has almost become ubiquitous. I haven't seen it much at all. That's an Enlightened Tutor. Oh, we could be drawing. No. What'd they get? Soul Ring. That's a great choice. What up, Bar? Is it Barre? Bar? How do you say that? Misty Rainforest. Yeah, let's play the Misty. Crack the Misty. We'll get something with some blue. Volcanic Island sounds good. We'll get the Mystic Remora right here. Probably should have played it last turn, but going to be a little bit off on everything now. But we'll make it work. We'll make it work. At the very least, there should be a Soul Ring coming down that we can draw off of. Really? Doc, you've been seeing that much Rebecca? Sean's the only person I know that plays it, so unless you're playing like Sean and Champ all the time. Maybe. I don't know. I guess I just haven't seen it. We'll draw with the Remora. Felwar Stone coming in. Draw a Clever Impersonator. Yeah, so we are trying to make as many copies of Tectonic Giant as humanly possible with this deck, so that will definitely come in handy. We still need to find the Tectonic Giant. If that doesn't work, we've got Inferno Titan and Magmatic Force. Almost forgot the name. Almost forgot the name of my favorite card. Ryan, 2 wieners in the house. This deck is built for him. Patreon supporter. Hopefully we can have some success today and show off the raw power of Tectonic Giant. Tectonic Giant is one of his favorite cards. Scarecrow coming in. Nice. Sacrifice to draw a card, huh? Wonder if there's got to be some things I can do with that in another deck. Huh. Seems like it could be good in, like, Gerard or something like that. Did I hear Gavin Verhey's statement on the future of white? I absolutely did. I think that's like one of the better videos to come out of WotC in a very long time. You know, they talked about, they acknowledged the problem. They talked about what they have been doing and they talked about what their future plans are. That's beautiful. That's just glorious. Like, I wanted to do a little bit more on that video, but that was the week that Texas got there was no power and it was like 10 degrees outside and everything was frozen and there was no food and water and all that stuff. So that all happened in the same week. So I just fell behind schedule that week, so I didn't really get to talk about it that much. Even though I don't think there's like actually that much to talk about it. It's just like it's all fantastic news. So there's not really another way to take it other than, yeah, this sounds awesome. Flash for white is exactly what white needs. I talked about it in a video like almost a year and a half ago at this point. It was like late 2019. What are we getting? What colors do we need? We have 2 red. We have 2 green. Looks like our colors are pretty well covered. I guess we'll just get a green. Yeah, maybe we'll get a blue. There we go. Pass like that. But yeah, flash and white, because white needs haste so badly, and flash does a really good impression of haste because it gets you around sorcery speed board wipes. And I really got a lesson in the sorcery speed removal stuff with I was facing one of Dave's decks a while back. It was the latest rendition of Lazav that came out, and he was running that card. I forget what it's called. It's the enchantment. It might be it's a fairy something that it phases it out after combat if it attacks, I think. And basically that card shuts off sorcery speed removal from your opponents if it's phased out. And like, I just sat there with a board wipe in my hand just crying, and he eventually won the game in like 2 turns later because I couldn't deal with what he was doing. And it's just like, wow, if you can dodge sorcery speed removal, it is really powerful. And that's why red is so good at closing the game out. That's why a play like Craterhoof is really good at closing the game out, because sorcery speed removal is off the table for that type of stuff. There's that Soul Ring. We're going to draw another one. Ooh, we got our Worldly Tutor. Yeah. We're going to set a stop on the upkeep then. Set stop here. I'm curious to see how deep they go with the flash thing, though. Like, you know, they could very easily print some very Craterhoof-esque type of like 8 drop with flash that like gives your team double strike and I don't know, +2 or something like that. That would be really cool. That would be exactly what white needs for, especially for like go wide decks. All that said, I have played some Halvar recently, and like Halvar is a really good mono white commander. The Voltron stuff tends to deal with some of white's problems pretty well. You do get boots and stuff with haste. Are we paying for this? You know, I would love to draw. What do we have? We have Explosive Vegetation. We have Oracle of Moldiah. Oh, that all seems so good. I'm going to let it go. We've got a Muldrifter for more draw. We've got the tutors we need. I'm feeling pretty good. I think we're on to the... Oh, there's Magmatic Force. Love it. Yeah, let's play this Oracle of Moldiah. This thing's going to be ridiculous. Ranger's Guile on top. Fetch land. Do we crack the fetch land? Yeah, I guess I'll crack it. I kind of like the Ranger's Guile because it's protection, but whatever. Get a Taiga. Nope, didn't hit the land there. Play the Scalding Tarn. Yeah, and then we might Worldly Tutor for... Actually, well, we should probably try to get Riku first. We'll figure it out. Pass like that. Feel pretty good about all of that. You want to see more functional white counters and payoffs for life gain? Yeah, the payoffs for life gain have been slowly coming. There are more and more of them. Most of them aren't as good as Aetherflux Reservoir. Aetherflux Reservoir is still probably the best one, but at least there's more of them, and you do need redundancy for that type of stuff. So they need to keep on doing what they've been doing with the life gain stuff. But definitely the token making is still lagging quite a bit. Like, white's token producers are so much worse than green's token producers. Green has like probably 4 or 5 cards now that like on their own produce table killing amounts of power after like maybe 2 trips around the table. You got Rampaging Baloths. What's the one? It's the one at Exelon that I always forget the name. Treacherous something? Is that the one? Tendershoot Dryad. There we go. Tendershoot Dryad. Coma. It's Simic, but you know, there's a bunch of those. Avenger of Zendikar is the big one. So you have a bunch of those in green that like it's the only creature you need. It like gives you all the power you need to win the game. Opponent gonna poke us. That's fine. So white needs to catch up in that regard, and then they also need the payoffs. They don't have the haste that the other colors have for that type of stuff. So like when you have all the tokens, you can't just get a Crater Hoof in white to make them lethal. At least, you know, against at least 1 or 2 players. You don't need to necessarily kill the table, but kill the player who needs to be taken, who needs to be dealt with right now. And usually one player is lagging behind, so you can kind of let them live for a turn or two. But you want to see support for the soldier tribe? There are a lot of cool soldiers out there. There's a little bit of support. They haven't gotten any recent support. You want to see better angels? Yeah, I was surprised that there wasn't like the Iona of Kaldheim or whatever the legendary angel is. Now, you could make the argument that like Redane is supposed to be that card and it's a god, but it does feel weird. It did feel lacking to me that there wasn't like the Valkyrie card other than like Starnheim Unleashed, which I don't care for that much. But instead, we're going to hit this Worldly Tutor and go find our Tectonic Giant. So far, things are going well. Get Tectonic Giant. We have a weird green border around the Tectonic Giant. Kind of strange. Makes me nervous. Okay. We have drawn it safely. The next card on top of our deck is a Windfall. That's a pretty good one. That is card draw. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Be on 7 lands right here, although this one's going to come in tap because we don't have 2 basics yet. So maybe we just do more land stuff. Well, we want to try to hit 2 lands, don't we? Okay. Yeah, crack it, give up on the Windfall. Let's get a basic. There's a land. Play a land. Shared summons. Beautiful card. Play a Cinderglade. Play Explosive Vegetation. Actually, maybe we could cast Riku this turn. Yeah, we'll just cast Riku right here. We have 3 mana left. We could evoke the Muldrifter, but I think we should wait. Yeah, that seems good. We'll pass. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, by the way, so that we can beat the algorithm together. Can't talk today. Finished filming a video a little while ago. Apparently I'm losing my voice already. It's not great. We'll poke the Josu Vest player, because why not? And I think we'll pass like that. Yeah, they have been focusing on the draw and the ramp, which are definitely things that need fixing, but like those aren't the only problems in white. The tutoring is still very mediocre. Search for Glory does help. But it's also the finishing. The finishing is still a problem too. Well, that's a living death. Kind of wish I evoked the Muldrifter. Anything in our graveyard? Nope. Versus no creatures in the graveyard, so this is just a straight board wipe. They just want our stuff off the board. Okay. Okay, I see what's up. You feel like Flash and White is just going to be more cards like Route. Well, the good thing is that, like, if you have Flash on your creatures, you can hold up Route, and if you don't need to Route, you can cast the creature. So that's going to be really nice, and that's what I'm excited about. And I think you recognize that. He kind of talked about that in the video, so that's super cool. Route is a fantastic card, which people forget about all the time. And I get a lot of people with Route, and it's wonderful. Oh, someone's got a Mortal Sun. I didn't see that come in. Yep, Sean's got an Immortal Sun. Watch out for that. Can Marshflats actually fetch anything? Oh. Ha! Whoops. I copied the mana base in this deck over from something else. No, I don't think Marshflats can go fetch anything. That's a great point. Does anyone have an Urborg in play? Oops. No one saw that. No one saw that. Any swamp and any plains don't have any of those. Oh, well, that's silliness. What up, Poisoned? Maybe it's an unpopular opinion, but Primal Growth is a vastly underappreciated piece of ramp. I gotta look that one up. Is that the one with Kicker, I think? I never use it. I'm very set in my ways about which pieces of ramp I like and which ones I don't. Primal Growth, yeah, that's the one with Kicker. Sacrifice a creature, search your library for a basic land. If it was kicked, search for 2 basic lands. I'm Team Cultivate over Primal Growth. For me, For me, Cultivate, Kodama's Reach, Nissa's Pilgrimage is where I'd rather be. PJ Punt Count 1. Yeah, 1 for deck building. 2 for the Mystic Remora play. Get that punt counter going. Maybe we can move the microphone just a little bit. How's that? Cover my face a little bit less. Who's getting poked? Mango's getting poked. Mango, by the way, piloting Josu Vess. I assume that's going to be some manner of zombie tribal and make lots of tokens. I guess it's just not for me, Doc. It's not my brand. I'm perfectly happy to pay 4 for 2 basics without sacking my stuff. In a sacrifice deck, absolutely. Non-sacrifice deck, I'm a little iffy. What do we got? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 total mana. We could recast Riku on that. Find out if anyone has any more removal. We could also go that for 4 and evoke that. Or what else? This can be a copy of any non-land permanent on the battlefield. That one's kind of cool. Or we could just make 2 Tectonic Giants right now. No, we can only make 1 because that one doesn't make land. Sadness. Let's try Riku again. If we can copy a Tectonic Giant, it's going to be a pretty good time. Everything we do just gets better if Riku's on the battlefield, so. Recast Riku. Pass the turn. Primal Growth is good in sack decks. Yeah, I could see that. If you're doing like green-black graveyardy stuff, then absolutely. I tend not to be much of a sacrifice player. I don't do a lot of aristocrat stuff, so I kind of look past that one most of the time. You built Firja, but you want to see my list? It should be on Tapped Out, or check the video. See if I can find the video link. Clicking around. Mine was Angel Tribal, by the way. My paper version is not Angel Tribal because I didn't have that many angels left over. But from the other deck, ooh, Makokoro, love it. Wood Elves. Wood Elves will be cool. That's ramp that we can copy. Immortal Sun for opponent? Sure. Where is Firja? There is the Firja deck list. Like I said, it's Angel Tribal. One thing you'll want to make sure that you have a couple things at like 1 and 2 mana just so you can get easily cast that second spell each turn. So you will want a decent number of cards there. What's the one? I think it's like Torment or something like that. Tortured Existence. Something along those lines. Oh, opponent casting a million things. We got a Hazard's Monument. We got an Ugin. We've got a Platinum Empyrean. Oh my. Yep. Don't know how we're going to deal with that. We're going to have to kill it. Multiple Magmatic Forces, maybe? I don't know. We'll figure it out. And tapped out doesn't want to work right now. Whichever, it's the 1 mana enchantment that lets you switch a creature in your hand in your graveyard, basically. Stuff like that is really handy just to get that, be able to get that cast trigger off of Firja. If we were on Twitch, we could get a bot that could keep a punt count. I may switch back to Twitch at some point in the future. I was having a big technical problem trying to stream through Twitch, so I just said, screw it. And I stream on YouTube now. So until I can figure that out, we're streaming on YouTube. You like the Firja deck so much you made your own, but not Angel, just Reanimate value. Yeah, my paper version is just a straight black-white Reanimator. I don't have, like, Gray Merchant in mind, so the deck doesn't punch very hard. Like, I probably just need to embrace a combo or something because it doesn't win quickly at all. Tortured Existence, that's the card. Got Nate in the house, knows all about his Abzan graveyard decks. So this is Esper Vehicle Tribal, by the way. We've got a Sleek Schooner, a Peace Walker Colossus. What's that one do? Oh, yeah, it can make a vehicle into a creature, and an Ether Sphere Harvester. Good times. I'm old school. I still like Tapped Out, even though the page crashes a lot and is annoying. Can I get sponsored by Tapped Out? Are they doing that? I'm one of the few people I'm like, no, please send this to me in Tapped Out. I really am comfortable viewing everything in Tapped Out. I pretty much have to look at decks sorted by converted mana cost now. It's the way that I receive the information the best. And sometimes they just like hide that feature on other websites and it takes me a long time to find it. It's not ideal. Let's see, if we go 4 and then 2, that gets us 2 explosive vegetations, which seems good. What if we do it the other way first? What if we go Wood Elves for 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we would get 2 lands back, which would put us 1 short of copying something else. What are we doing? Yeah, let's get a Tectonic Giant. Actually, can we go about it this way? If we go Wood Elves, no, it'd be the same cost. We really wish this was a Sky Shroud claim. So if we go Wood Elves for 5, maybe we just go Wood Elves for 1. And then we'd have an extra land, and that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, okay. There we go. Let's do that. Wood Elves for 1. Get the Wood Elves trigger, get the Riku trigger. We're not going to copy this one, though. This is an exile, is it? No, that's a destroy ability. Okay. Good to keep that in mind. Wood Elves, red, we've got enough. We need, what, blue and a green to copy it? Let's get a Stomping Ground untapped. Play Tectonic Giant. The namesake card has shown up. Uh-oh. Champ's got plans. Don't you do it. Oh, he's going to dispatch the Platinum Empyrean. Love it. Beautiful. Perfect. Ryan getting excited. Tectonic Giant has shown up. We're going to make a copy. Does have to survive back to us, though. We'll see how that goes. Blue and green. Get a second Tectonic Giant. We'll poke Mango. Seems like a free shot right there. And we'll pass like that. Oh, Ugin. Ooh, the Ugin. Right. The Ugin. Yep, forgot about the Ugin. Sorry. Got ahead of myself. Tapped out is great for smoothing out mana curves. Yeah, I'm just used to I'm used to the way that the data is displayed on tapped out. And I just never got used to it for the other websites. Oh, Ugin is stuck under the Immortal Sun. Perfect. No big deal. They can have their cost reduction. Opponent's getting some mana now, though. They've got a Cabal Stronghold with a whole bunch of swamps. I think, is that David or Divide? Tectonic Giant is also one of your favorite creatures? Well, it's Ryan's favorite creature too, and that's why we're playing this deck for him today. Here comes Josu Vess, kicked. It's going to make a whole bunch of 2/2s. Man, I miss playing Josu Vess. I haven't played my Josu Vess in a long time. It's weird. I have myself up on the monitor, and I can see how awkward the position that I sit in is. I'm like, maybe we should figure out something a little bit more ergonomical. Opponent will get to draw. You own 8 foil extended Tectonic Giants. Nice. Cleaning out the market. Jeez, man, let someone else have some. You miss Sir Gwyn with Assault Suit? I do too. I miss playing Sir Gwyn. If only there were more hours in a day, we would play more Sir Gwyn. Ignite the Future. Love it. Super cool card. Dispatch. Don't love it. Don't love it. Snow-covered mountain. Mirror. Mirage Mirror. Let's see what he wants to do with the dispatch. If he wants to shoot Riku, that's fine. Like, it would be annoying, but I'd get over it. I really want to keep this main copy of Tectonic Giant, though. We have some ways to pull it out of the graveyard if it goes down. You're making 2 more red decks soon? Sweet. What do you got in the works? Mirage Mirror is amazing. Yeah, it's one of those cards that I keep telling myself I need to run more. It's actually in this deck. I've got a copy of it, which I don't usually run. But I do have that conversation with myself all the time that, like, I need to play this card more. Whatever the best thing on the battlefield is, make a copy of it. Well, they can just play that dispatch at any time. That's like not the most ideal. Here comes a Meteor Golem. Let's see where this is going to go. They get a Hazard's Monument trigger. Circle Wind is slightly overcosted. If it had haste at 6 mana or 5 mana with no haste, I think it would have been about right. The problem is, though, like, it still destroys casual tables. Well, he's shooting the token copy. Okay. Dispatch is a problem for us. We need him to tap out the white mana. Where'd that protection spell go? We need that protection spell. You got 4 foil Mirage Mirrors. Saw that card and you're like, EDH staple? Yeah, it's good thinking. That was good thinking. Here comes an Iroas. I think that's all their white mana, though. Iroas is cool. I was having a hankering the other day, and it was like, it's difficult to make it happen when you want to make it happen, which is, I just want to have Irelia and Iroas and slam Iroas into a bunch of things. As a commander itself, Iroas, I don't think is the best, usually. Ooh, opponent's going to copy our Tectonic Giant. Get their own Tectonic Giant. I think it just came in this turn, though, so it can't attack. Sadness. But, yeah, it's like not the easiest to set that up for either deck. Because Aurelia and Iroas are glorious together. So much damage. Even better if you can mix like an Adriana in there or something. You used to have an Iroas deck back in 2015. Yeah, it was a little bit better then. It still had some issues, but just everything else being slower and like less interactive, I guess, is what you want out of Iroas. You just need a lot of permanents in play to make Iroas a creature, which is unfortunate. It's never been my favorite as a Boros commander. I really like it much better in the 99 of a deck. In the 99, it's super powerful, but as a commander, it's a little bit underwhelming to me. That's the Aurelia player in me talking. It feels weird that I'm not able to attack with it all the time. And for every other Boros commander, you are. So just getting used to that is a weird feeling for me. All right, if opponent wants to next level us, they could turn the Mirage Mirror into a Plains and then get white mana, but I'm hoping they're not going to do that. I'm hoping we can just make some copies of... that's a Parallel Lives. Well then. Play this Parallel Lives. Maybe we try to leave this up if we can. I don't know if it'll work out that way, but... Play the Parallel Lives. And we have exactly enough for the Clever Impersonator. We mistapped our blue. Maybe we do not. That's not great. That's bad. I made a boo-boo. Punt count 4? It's not the best. Do we play land? Do we play land this turn? Let's check. We did not. We can try to get a land with Tectonic Giant and see where that gets us. Take a little poke over to Champ. He doesn't have any blockers. Tectonic Giant trigger. We'll do the exile the top thing. Hope for a blue. Pray for blue. Ancient Tomb does not help. We'll get an Ancient Tomb, though. Exile that. We'll lose the mountain. Maybe this is a good explosive vegetation turn, then. Play the Ancient Tomb. Crack. Or, not crack, but... use the Yavimaya Hollow, I guess. Riku Trigger. Pave the trigger. The red, there's a blue. Get a whole bunch of lands. I think this is going to be like all of our lands. There's 2 basics. There's some basics. That is the end of the basics. There are no more basics to go find. Beautiful, we've ramped. We're probably a giant target for these zombies, though. Pass like that. Opponent's going to crack the Hedron Archive and draw 2 cards. You treat Iroas the same way you treat Mogus. It's an enchantment first and then a creature second. Yeah, that's the right way to look at it. It's a little bit awkward by itself. I always wanted to build like a commander damage enchantment Iroas deck, but I just never got around to it. Someday we'll get there. Mox Tantalite coming in. Final parting for opponent. That's a good one. Played Aurelia and Helm of the Host with Adriana out? Yeah, that's a really good time. I mean, Aurelia, Helm of the Host is good enough by itself. Aurelia Adriana is a fun one, though. It's not like infinite or anything, but especially if you get like... One time I went Hero of Bladehold, well, it was Sol Ring, Hero of Bladehold, Adriana, Aurelia, and then the table was dead in like 2 turns. It was glorious. Champ with the Spice? Yeah, he's playing Esper Vehicles. I'm excited to see this thing get going. I can't imagine he's too far away. He's probably thinking board wipe right now. Vehicles are really good if you want to run a bunch of board wipes and, be able to cast a bunch of things without losing them. Iroas got torn apart in 2017 when Samut was printed. Yeah, that seems fair. Samut is really, really good. Can't believe how expensive Eldrazi Titans are. Yeah, they're very expensive. Have they reprinted each of them at any point? Or there might be some out there that don't even have reprints yet. What's Kozilek doing? Okay, Kozilek was in Ultimate Masters. Still $69 for the cheapest one. That's insane. Oh my god. What about, who's the other one? Ulamog? I like Kozilek a little bit more than I like Ulamog. Maybe it's because of the colors I play. The colors I play have removal. They don't have card draw. At least they didn't. Original Ulamog is $55? Wow. Yeah, they're expensive. They are expensive. It's a toss-up who the bigger target is. Yeah, right now we're actually holding back a little bit by not just coughing our best things out there. But even Mango, like, these things have menace, and they will kill you quickly. There's a Gauntlet of Power, so now there are 3/3s. That's a lot of damage. In fact, if they just turn... oh my god. If they just turned everything at us, we'd probably die, actually. Might have to block the big one. What's it, 24? Yeah, they would have lethal on us, just that we have blockers. Ooh. Yeah, that's Josu Vest is one of those things that, like, if you kick it and those zombies stay alive, and especially if you get some sort of Anthem, that's all you need. It's all the power you need on the battlefield. This deck is terrible against counter spells, though. The worst thing they can do is just counter. Josu Vess. I played it enough that it happened a few times, and it was not great. Yeah, that's the thing, too, is that, like, with this, they just keep recasting this until we run out of removal. Opponent's going to do something with Mirage Mirror. Oh, they're going to double block? Mango's not interested. He's gonna Doomblade the Meteor Golem, and that'll fizzle the Mirage Mirror trigger. New Ulamog is definitely better than old Ulamog. Generally, yes. Generally, yes, it is better. Old Ulamog is still card draw in colors that can't draw cards, though. But new Ulamog is definitely a really strong finisher. 2 pieces of exile-based removal that are colorless? Yeah. On an indestructible body? It's a really good card. The other thing, too, is that the mill protection on original Ulamog is still a thing. You don't need it all the time, but every once in a while, you want that Eldrazi that shuffles. Immortal Sun trigger. Opponent's going to draw. We've got a Genesis in our deck, so, like, even if this gets blown up, we can go get a Genesis and then just start getting things back. So I wouldn't be terribly sad if a board wipe happened right here, but probably actually a little bit worse if it doesn't. There's another Ignite the Future. He used all of his colored mana. I don't know if that's what he wanted to do. There's a Plains for him, so he can go Plains, Dispatch, Bag of Holding. That's fun. Keeper of the Accord. Gonna get a lot of lands and a lot of tokens with that Keeper of the Accord. Definitely get that in. There's a Field of the Dead trigger. Okay, getting some tokens of his own. We'll probably want to get the Magmatic Force this turn. We need to start chewing through some of those zombies. Those are kind of scary. You got a foil Ulamog? It's pretty? Yeah, I bet. Those are nice. Keeper coming in. Yep. Are we cloning the giant? Let's do all that math right now. So there's a dispatch on the Josu Vess. That just means they cast it again, though. They're gonna draw 1,000,000 cards first. Yeah, why not? Why not? Slate of Ancestry. Draw a card for each creature you control. Looks like 9. What up, Tyler? Glad you like the videos. I appreciate it. Thank you. Clever Impersonator Magmatic Force in hand. Where's Ryan? Ryan, you still here? Are we cloning the Tectonic Giant or are we cloning the Magmatic Force? It's supposed to be the Tectonic Giant deck. So if you tell me Tectonic Giant, we're going Tectonic Giant. Combustible Gear Hulk coming in. Another Hazardous Monument trigger. Nice. Opponent getting some stuff going over there. Yeah, if you can use Slate to its full effect, it's pretty good. I'm not a big token player, I've realized. Like, I think Josu Vess is probably the only token deck I've ever had, and probably the only deck I could really make use of it, because I just don't play a lot of tokens. But yeah, in the right deck, it can be very good. It's a little bit slow by today's standards. 4 and 4 is a bit, but they drew 9, so drawing 9 is worth that mana cost. 3 mana Combustible Gear Hulk is dirty? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if that thing was a 3-drop instead of a 6-drop naturally, it'd be like the best red card ever. Sean's board is wild. Yeah, it's his artifact deck. We will be playing this one on the channel at some point. It's in the to-do list of decks that I have to film. So, yeah, if you like this will be showing up eventually. Ryan points out that Combustible Gear Hulk is just the artifact Lava Bro. Yeah, we were talking about the Lava Brothers of Tectonic Giant and Magmatic Force before the game, before when I was putting the deck together. And I'm like, are there any that we're missing? Apparently, Combustible Gear Hulk is the one that we're missing. Jason says, Combustible Gear Hulk was the most fun of the Gear Hulk cycle. I would agree with that. Like, there are some of the other ones are just like they're effective at what they do, but this one's just fun. It's also a weird red card in that it's really good at blocking. Most red cards like incentivize you to just attack relentlessly, and this one does not. Like, unless the board's empty, you probably hold it back a lot of the time because of the 6/6 first strike is just like, well, nothing's coming in here profitably, so 8 mana draw 9 isn't the worst? No. No, 8 mana draw 9 is not the worst. We can use Impersonator to copy Gear Hulk 3 times. We could do that. That is a thing that we could do. Ryan, what are we copying? Are we copying Tectonic or Magmatic Force? Do you guys run Cavern of Souls a lot? I don't. It's good if you're expecting counter spells and you're doing like a tribal thing, but given its cost, I just don't include it that much. And it is awkward for off-tribe creatures because it's colorless for them. So, Green Gear Hulk was made for standard. Yeah, I like the Green Gear Hulk in a couple decks. Decks like Galta, I think it's really good. And if you're doing like a +1/+1 counter thing, it's obviously insane. I like the Green Gear Hulk. It's very aggressively costed. All right, so we're copying the Tectonic Giant, just so that's out there, because this is the Tectonic Giant deck. But if this were my deck, we would definitely be copying the Magmatic Force. But if we have enough mana, which I have not done the math on yet, we might be able to Clever Impersonator, Riku it, and then Magmatic Giant, Riku it. That is a lot of mana, though, so we'll see how it goes. Start doing that math. Who's getting attacked? Not us. Love it. Love it. We have 15 total mana. So it would be 6 to copy that, and then plus 8 is 14. We would need 16 total mana to do both. What did I just say? 15? 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, yeah, so we need to land off the top, and then we can Clever Impersonator, copy it, Magmatic Force, copy it. Do I like the White Gear Hulk? I don't find that I use the White Gear Hulk that much. Like, it can be okay. I've seen some people use it here and there. It's not my favorite, but that's not to say it's not playable. It's just like, I don't know, for the way that I like to play and the way that I like to build, I like my removal to be very controlled. I don't like when my removal misses stuff, and that one has the potential to miss stuff. We probably don't have enough red. That is probably a thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 total red, and some of that shares with the blue. Yeah, we're probably tight on red mana. What's he got going over there? He's got 2 Angels with Vigilance over there. I don't even know those are. Oh, that's off of a Parhelion. Ha! Real magic card. Real magic card. He's got the Cabal Coffers over there. No Urborg yet, though. What do we draw? Harmonize. Interesting. 5 red mana total. What do we need? We need Simic to copy the things. Yeah, we could probably make it work then. Well, we didn't get the land, so we do need to get the land. That's tricky. Maybe we just copy the Magmatic Force then and try to draw some cards or something like that. Or like if we cast this and use the Riku trigger, hold on to the Clever Impersonator. That'll allow us to eat 2 tokens. It also gives us blockers against tokens. And then maybe Mole Drifter or copy Mole Drifter, which is more blockers. Something like that. Oh, if we had haste. If we had haste, we could copy Alina, then play Magmatic Forest, and then get all that mana back, and that would be super cool. Maybe we'll go on the small plays and hold the Magmatic Force back. Let's try Clever Impersonator. Got to be really careful with our blue mana right here. Ooh. We could copy the Gauntlet of Power, and that would give us... get a little bit of extra mana. I don't think it's worth it. We'll copy the Tectonic Giant like we planned. Riku trigger. Green, blue. Get 3 tokens of Tectonic Giant. Oh, I think we're a blue short of copying the Mole Drifter. Yeah. That gives us some blockers. Maybe blue right there. Maybe Harmonize then. Cast a Harmonize. Copy a Harmonize. Todd Zulo with a super chat. Sends a hot dog. Love it. I haven't eaten dinner yet. What's up, dude? So we get 2 harmonizes. Harmonizes. Harmonies. There's some stuff. Ooh. Subterranean Tremors is fun, especially against 2 artifact decks. They can have a turn before that happens, though. Oh, there's all the good stuff. Yeah, those are good. Ooh, you know what? We can play this Flamekin Village, and we can reveal this Mole Drifter to have it come in untapped. Yeah, how about that? Got 8 cards in hand. We will have to discard if we don't do something. We could haste a Tectonic Giant, but we would lose it. There's no great attacks in this moment. Oh, what next? What would we give up on? I like all of these cards, Well, that gives us a finisher. Yeah, that does give us a finisher. Maybe we don't need the Green Sun that bad. What's even in our deck? Oh, you want what we could do? Oh, maybe we could Green Sun for like a Rex Age or something. Let's see. Good Rex Sage is a thing that we could do. You could get an Elder Gargaroth. Only creature you need. We get Inferno Titan, which is really the only creature you need. Oh, what to do? Shared Summons? We could Shared Summons. We could Shared Summons. That would turn into a creature. The other one would turn into Genesis. Yeah, that works. Actually, let's do that. I like that. Wait, do we only have 4 mana? Oh, we only have 4 mana because of that thing. Oh, I messed it up. Bummer. I mean, how about opponent doesn't draw another 9 cards then? Seems like a plan to me. So we'll green sun for 3. Riku trigger, no mana left though. Choices are Rex Sage, Eternal Witness, Coiling Oracle. Anything in our graveyard for the Eternal Witness? Nothing insane, so I think just Rex Sage. What's scarier, the mana or the card draw? Got the Gauntlet plus that thing. I'm going to go for the Slate of Ancestry. Both are very legit targets. Not enough mana to copy. Use the ability. It goes down. No, I don't think there's any attacks. I don't think anything really looks good. That's a lot of menace over there, so we need blockers. There's a chance that they have a board wipe too in the 9 cards that they drew. It is a mono black deck after all. What up, Banana? You wanted me to target the Gear Hulk? It's Ryan's deck, man. He told me we got to copy the Tectonic Giant. We copy the Tectonic Giant. Mirage Mirror on... Ooh, Keeper of the Accord? I don't think that's going to work the way he wants it to. Yeah, that's not like a at the beginning of the next end step type of thing. That's a until end of turn type of thing. Field of the Dead. Yeah, it seems good. You just want 1 attack? I want 1 attack with this too. The thing is, if we have 1 attack with this, that's 30... No, wait, math. 3 times... That's 12 damage. I don't know why I thought that was like... I'm like, that's going to be like 4 million damage. No, that will be 12 damage if we attack with all of them. But like, mono black deck, 9 cards, gotta be a board wipe. Diabolic Tutor probably finds 1 if they don't have it already. Or it gets the finisher and we just die. One of the two. Shared summons for more clones. One of the shared summons is probably going to have to be Genesis. I just have this feeling that either we'll be dead or we're not going to have all this beautiful stuff when our turn comes back to us. One of the two. Yeah, there we go. There's an in Garrick's Wake. Yep. Called that. Now the problem is that, like, they can just kill us. Needs Torbren or the red triple damage effect? Yeah, that's probably good thinking. It's tough because you have to ramp really hard in this deck. You have to devote so much space to ramp that it doesn't leave like a ton of room for fun stuff like that. As cool as Riku is, it takes a lot of mana. It's super mana hungry to do. Well, that was not ideal. Let's see how he wants to go about his targeting. Liliana's Devotee. Devotee. I don't know why I always have trouble saying that word. That's happened before. Zombies you control. Oh, God. 4 power. Up to 4 power. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. Mango always brings the removal. Yeah. It is a mono black deck. Like, mono black just has always had good removal, so it's to be expected. We did not find a heroic intervention or anything similar. Please don't kill us. Champ can actually make some blockers still. Oh, they're all coming our way. Yeah, it's going to kill us. Well, down we go. Sadness. All that hard work, need haste. Yeah, there's a fervor in the deck. We just didn't find it. Probably should have just played the volcanic. Yeah, we could have did this for 3, and then our giants would have survived. Probably should have went about it that way. I think we could have done it for 3. Assume we had the mana. Down we go. Bummer. Yeah, Riku does that. Like, it draws a lot of attention because you're just making loads and loads of mana. Mirage Mirror copying... What is it copying? Keeps doing it at the end step, but like, I don't know what that. I don't know what it's doing. Zulo with the super chat. 666. Testo senses regrets. These are my IRL friends. The number of the beast. Sacrifice is going on tonight. Champ says, you might say that it was a giant swing. Yeah. Yeah. He could have split that damage up. Thanks, Todd. I appreciate it. I don't know why that's so funny. It's not that funny, but I'm laughing. What should we do? Should we fire up another game while this is going on, or should we hang out and just watch the end of this one? What do you guys want to do? You want to see another game, or you want to see the end of this one? Let me know. We can do either. Ryan, since this didn't go according to plan, we'll still work on getting another video out because we did not achieve the desired result of attacking with many tectonic giants. We can play 2 at one time. Why not? All right. We're going to fire up another game. This one's going to be stronger, though. Just so we don't get bogged down into like a super long grind fest. All right, let's go start digging for a deck. We're going to break out the good Aurelia. Said I want something quick, so yeah. Which is the correct version? Kaldheim. What card did I want to test? I want to test, what's the name of that? The Wand? I'm going to test out the Transmogrifying Wand. It's repeatable removal, which I find very exciting. Let's bring that in, and what else? Well, what's coming out? What's coming out is always a question. Um, there are not a lot of flex slots in this deck. No, these cards are good. Can't cut another land. We're already a little light on lands. Maybe we'll get rid of the Helm of the Host combo. Get rid of Godo, get rid of that, and what's the other card I wanted to bring in? Another one that I've been wanting to test is, what's the name of that thing? Bloodshot Trainee. See how this game is going? Sean has rebuilt his board. He played Roar of Reclamation. Each player returns all artifact cards from their graveyards to the battlefield. That was not one that was on my radar. You want to see Voltron Edgar Markov? 99 cards, but a creature ain't one. That's going to be a tough one to make work. That is not a deck super well suited to Voltron. The haste is cool. The +1 counters are cool. Get the good silverware out for this one. Yeah. All right, we got 2 players in that game. Let me know what you guys think about this. I've been wanting to do this on a video for a little while. It's been in my head. I've been thinking about it. What if we played 2 games of Magic side by side? Now, it would be on Magic Online like this, so I would just be flipping back and forth between the 2 of them. It'll be a nightmare to edit because it's essentially editing 2 games, and it's also incredibly confusing to do. Is anyone interested in seeing that in a video? Let me know, because it's something I've been thinking about for a long time. I've definitely done drafts like that because of the way drafts used to work on Magic Online. It would take forever to get a game going. And while you were waiting between rounds, I would fire up another draft. And ultimately, that would end up with me like having to play 2 games at the exact same time. And it would be super difficult, but... Big attacks. Drag to the underworld. Destroy target creature. Nope, that's going to go down. Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't quite be Beth Harmon levels of Magic, but it would be a very fun parody of Beth Harmon in Magic for those that have seen the Queen's Gambit. I think it'll be an interesting experiment. What I can't decide on is if it makes sense to play the same deck twice so that like it's a little bit easier to, you're in the same mindset because you're playing the same deck, or if you get confused because you like start thinking about one game and then you forget that like you don't have those pieces in the other game and it's easier to just play 2 completely separate decks. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Would you want to see like 2 of the same deck or 2 different decks just, at the same time? We're going full metal on that idea? Yeah. I mean, someone did donate the number of the beast earlier. I like Iron Maiden. Still waiting on a player in that game. Go check the chat. You want to see a Redain build? So far, what I've seen with Redain is that if you play it in a Halvar deck, it's insane. The best Redain build might be a good Halvar build with Redain in play, because Redain is vigilance, so Halvar can move the equipment between everything every combat. And if you put like, I don't know, just a Luxodon Warhammer on Redain, it has first strike, flying, vigilance. Wait, did I get all that? It has first. No, it has double strike. Sorry, double strike, flying, vigilance, and lifelink off of Luxon Warhammer. Or obviously any other equipment's going to be good. It's going to have double strike, so anything with a little bit of power is going to make it a really good blocker. As a commander itself, it kind of lends itself to like stacks and hate bears. You could just do like a Voltron thing with it. It does have flying. Mask of Memory, Sword of the Animus, Dousing Dagger, all that stuff's going to be really good with it. The question is, what do you want to do from that point with Redain? Do the same commander for 2 games at the same time, but 2 different themes. You mean like Aurelia Weapons and Aurelia Angels? Is that what you're talking about? Good luck to you, dude. Good luck to you too, Danny. That could be a possibility. Just play it on the shield side. Yeah, just play that on play the shield side of Redain is also really good. Really good against red decks and random damage effects and stuff like that. Tokens, 1/1 tokens. We would have survived probably if we had a Redain right here. It looks like we need a player. What is this? Armed and armored vehicles you control become creatures. Nice. There's becoming more and more of these that like are gonna make it easier to make a vehicles deck work. He's got a little bit of power happening. Ooh, he's got a Sharding Sphinx now. He was talking about that one the other day. This is a really cool card in artifact decks, and if you have multiples of that card, it's insanely good. This is a Mistress Factory. Is he gonna Alpha Strike Mango? I probably would. I don't know if does he have the juice? That's 9, 12, 21, 25? Yeah, he's got enough. As long as he doesn't have anything. There's a mirror entity over here, though. That can easily turn lethal. Yeah, waiting for the second game to load up. We need a 4th player. What color combos would I say are the least played? I think a lot of people talk about Gruul now. I think Gruul suffers from just not having a ton of really interesting options. The ones that come to mind for me are like Rurik Thar. It's probably one of the best Gruul commanders. Yeah, and I think it's just a matter of like having interesting options. There's powerful things to do in the color. Big creatures. Xenagos is pretty good. There's big creatures. There's a lot of removal in red. And, there's just good stuff like Rishkar's Expertise. It's going to be good for those style of decks. And I think it just suffers from not having like a really kind of flagship commander to kind of bring a lot of interest to it. Gruul has the old Boros problems. Yeah, I mean, Gruul's game plan doesn't have holes in it like Boros' game plan does. Like, White still doesn't draw cards. Gruul draws cards like there's no tomorrow if you wanted to. I don't see a lot of Dimir decks. Like, I think Yuriko is the only really Dimir deck that I see much of. And maybe it's just because like Dimir decks tend to be combo decks. And if you're just not playing it like high power spiky, then you don't see as much Dimir. Because like the strengths of that color are tutor for the win, tutor for the 2 cards you need to win the game. So if you're not doing that, then I think it is a little bit lacking. You got your Vorinclex in the mail for Mothership? Sweet. Are Giants viable now? Is there a cost reduction Giant? Is there something that cost like you need a legendary creature that cost reduces your Giants because they are. If I can find the deck, take a peek at what the curve for a Giants deck looks like. Who did I build it around? I think I built it around Iroas. No, not that one. Iroas. There it is. Iroas Giant Tribal. So this is an Iroas Giant Tribal deck I had from like maybe a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. And this is the problem that you have. All of the creatures you want to run are 6 mana or 7 mana. So like you need cost reduction in the command zone. There might be enough to make it work now. Like if you run, let's see, if I were going to update this deck, I would add in Oketra's Monument and Hazoret's Monument. Where's the monument? Anyway, you get the idea. I would add in a bunch of I have no idea where that went. I would add in a bunch of cost reduction and stuff like that because it's just really expensive to. Mango went down to 12. Sean went down to 20 after the big attack. Svella feels like Kinnan deck. Seedborn Muse. I gotta look up Svella. Oh yeah, I've seen that one a little bit. That one doesn't blow me away. It's fun. It looks cute. It's got that random thing, which, you know, paying 8 mana to get something at random off the top, it's a little pricey. It's a bit much. They have Izzet Giant support. The issue is that they have Gruul Boros and Izzet support. Okay, yeah. I'm playing the new Aurelia next just because I want something that's going to be quick. When I say new Aurelia, I mean my updated version of Aurelia weapons. Rograk Ketis? Yeah, that's a possibility. We won the die roll. We have a game. Lands Sunforger. It's not the best hand I've ever seen, but I'm going to keep it. I've had... My experience has been that I've been able to draw out of really bad hands with this deck. Now, this may not be the hand to do it with, but... Josu Vest coming back to play, making a whole bunch of knights. Can't believe how much the Phyrexian writing Vorinclex was. Yeah, I bet it's expensive. They look cool, though. PJ Tron Assemble? I was thinking about that the other day. I might mock up a something in Photoshop for that. Stay tuned on Twitter. I suppose I could post it to YouTube community as well. Still waiting for someone to load in over here. Got a Soul Ring firing off. Vorinclex is nasty. Yeah. Yeah, if you don't like Super Friends, it's a Super Friends commander. Do you like doubling season in the command zone? That's the question. Josu Vest back to play. Oh, do they have the sack outlet thing? Or do they just have a ton of mana? I think they just have a ton of mana. Yeah, that's a lot of 3/3s. A lot of 3/3s. Vorinclex in Atraxa? Yeah. Ugh. Gross. Atraxa didn't need any help. Deck was already too good. Danny said his machine crashed, so he's trying to load back up in that game. You passed me Kethis Super Friends with Vorinclex in the 99. That will show up eventually. I'm gonna be. By the way, I'm gonna be cranking out videos for the next 2 weeks or so because I am pretty far behind on Patreon decks. So stay tuned. There's probably gonna be some weekend releases, which there are not usually. So more content for you guys because I do need to get some videos finished up, and I'm a little bit further behind than I'm comfortable being. So we're gonna be working pretty hard to bring some videos out, get some videos released. Rebecca Hazeret's Monument. Bag of Holding. Why has Atraxa gotten so much attention but not Edgar Markov? They really need to reprint Edgar Markov and Vampire tokens? $3 a token? Wow. That's a lot. Atraxa, well, Edgar Markov also, but they're both like two of the most popular commanders like ever. Mango says he accepts his death now that he has made all of the zombies. That's a lot of zombies. Unless someone... Oh, that's protection from like every color. Oh, protection from 0. Yeah, there we go. So Sean's got unblockable from like most of the creatures on the board. Champ apparently did get a bunch of Thopter tokens. I think the artifact deck is gonna get there. They may not have 42 against Champ, though. Well, they could. They leave some mana up with the Mirror Entity. They could probably make it work. I don't know if they brought any creatures in. If they had, do they have, that's a Nahab. I haven't been following close enough to figure out what his play is. Kind of hoping to get Strionic Resonator at some point. Yeah, Strionic Resonator is like surprisingly clunky. You do need just a lot of mana to make it work. Sharding Sphinx makes you giggle. Yeah, it does have a funny name, funny ring to it. Did he make it? I think he made it. Or he got... Let's find out. I don't know what's going on with this game. We're just going to leave that one. MTGO bugging out? Yep. Yep. Good times. Guess we will try it again. Big attack. Someone's probably going to die. Doesn't they have protection from 0? Oh, these are not all artifacts. Right. They do all have Menace, though. Champ trying to line up his blocks. It's a lot of stuff. There's a million keywords on here, a million abilities, so I haven't figured out what all this means yet. You know what? We may just skip the second game. Sorry, guys. I was going to try to load it up, but we didn't get the game loaded. And, at this point, my voice is starting to wear down a little bit because I already filmed one today. I got to film more tomorrow, too. So I might just try to leave a little bit of gas in the tank because if I burn it all out now, I'm going to wake up and it's going to feel not great tomorrow. So, sorry, no second game tonight. We'll just finish this one out and see what happens. Is he going to survive? That is the question. 17 red mana. He did survive. He's at 25. Let's see what the follow-up is. He's got 7 cards in hand. He's got a lot to do. He's got a lot of effects in play. Darksteel Forge, of course. Can't have an artifact deck without that. Ancient Stone Idol. Nice. Hazard's Monument. So what was the deck? Oh, the deck we played today was Tectonic Giant deck. It was a Riku deck, very similar to the Elder Gargaroth and the Magmatic Force deck of just trying to make as many copies of Tectonic Giant as possible. What tier is needed to ask for a deck to be played on Patreon? That would be the Angel tier. Currently, all the slots are full, but if it's something that you're really interested in, you can send me an email, commanderreplay@gmail.com. I'll type that out. If you're really interested in it, you can we can chat about it. Someone's got an Inventor's Fair, probably Sean. Sounds like there might be a slot opening up in the Angel tier. Talk about some of the decks we got coming up. Let's see. I worked on a Coal deck today. That one was interesting. It was CEDH level. We got a Chroma Jeska. That was a fun one. It's already been filmed. We got Sean's artifact deck that we see right here. That'll be coming out at some point. We got a Volrath deck. Excited to check that one out. I remember playing that one, and I don't think I quite did it justice the last time I played it. So curious to see what Patreons have sent me. We got some Aurelia from a Patreon. Excited about that. We got an AC deck coming. Tyrant of Gyre Strait. We got a few other things in the mix as well. Champ tapping up for a bunch of mana. I think you got to get, you got to get both of these. Both of these guys are presenting a lot of power. And with a lot of evasion, too. There's a lot of, like, menace and stuff running around. Tezzeret coming in. That can probably do some things. Are there any rules for what can be asked for? You just want to see Eldrazi Rakdos? No, I mean, basically, you can either send me a deck list or you can tell me, like, I want you to build a deck that has blah, blah, blah and does blah. And I can do that and, kind of work around. If you have a specific budget in mind, like if you don't want me to spend $1 million with every, all the super expensive paper stuff, you can do that too. Yeah, no, really just about anything's fair game. I have, like, just about every staple. commander staple on Magic Online. So the only things I'm missing are like a couple of the free counter spells. Fierce Guardianship and Force of Negation are both really expensive. I think I have one and not the other. I think Force of Negation is the one I don't have, but everything else I've got access to. So as long as it's on Magic Online, I can play it. Eldrazi Rakdos is a good deck. You want to see me build Rith? One of the Patreon supporters, I forget who, had a really good Rith deck. It was like consistent turn 6, and we played 3 or 4 games, and they just schooled me with it. And I had my good Aurelia deck out, and it just made me look bad. I'm like, wow, that's a real deck. Rith is crazy if you build it right. This is the one thing I don't like about Magic Online. You get to this point of the game, and the client slows down a lot, and things just get really slow. And it's unfortunate. Like, of all the updates that they make to Magic Online, I wish this was the thing they fix. I don't know how you fix it. It's probably an expensive, difficult problem to fix. But, the fact that the performance just goes down the toilet after, like, turn 9 or 10, especially if there's a lot of triggers, it's a bad time. It's a real bad time. Apparently, there's one open slot for the Angel tier, so if you're interested, it should be open now. See if I can double check that on my end. They changed the Patreon page, and I'm very confused. Where are the things? I can't find the things. Yeah, there's one slot open, so if you want it, it's there. I will let you know, I'm pretty far behind. I literally just finished December decks yesterday. We're into January. There's only a couple for January. February's got a bunch, but, it's probably going to be a good 35 days before I can get new videos done. Do I want to get a paper game tonight? Probably not. I will probably need to spend some family time after this. How'd that job interview go? It went good. I'm very excited. I basically answered all of their questions in like my exposition of the "Tell me about yourself" portion. So he's like, "Huh, I wasn't expecting that." And I'm like, "Yeah, I think I'll be good for this job." So we'll see how it goes. I've been telling my friends that I use the Derek Jeter interview method, which is we're just out here trying to win some games. I was happy to contribute to a win today. Well, that's a whole bunch of Sharding Sphinx triggers, so more artifact tokens. Man, opponents are really grinding it down this game. No game 2 tonight. I'm wearing down a little bit, and I've got a bunch of videos to film tomorrow as well, so we got to leave some gas in the tank. Describe yourself in one word. Hired. Love it. Oh, that's good. We had 4 Tectonic Giants lined up at one point, but then this army of zombies killed us with the Menace. Super hard to block. Actually, they wiped the board first with an Ingarrick's Wake, so we had no blockers left, no creatures at all. So that's how that went. Sometimes that happens. Buy shirts, everyone. Yeah, we've got Commander Replay t-shirts available. The link is in the description of this video. Banana has bought one. A few other people have bought them as well. They come in orange and colors beside orange. Red is your favorite color? I think there's red. It's got like, you can choose any of the like basic colors, I think. Well, yeah, let's get, how do we get to this link? Boom, yeah. There's the link to shirts. Let's see if I'm coordinated enough to like make this happen on the other screen. Seems difficult. Oh, I have an idea. Do it like this. Go to Discord, click on that. Yeah, look at these shirts. We got shirts. Nope, go away. We don't want that. There's red. That's what red would look like. There's a light orange. There's a dark orange. That one's like almost yellow. We got all kinds of colors. We also got the women's comfort tee. If that's if that is more your speed. But yeah, check out the shirts. So what's the verdict on Tectonic Giant after the game? The verdict is it was going to be really cool and we died. We were going to attack and everyone was going to lose a bunch of life and we were going to exile a bunch of cards and do cool things. Tectonic Giant has been a very good card. I'm not saying you run it in every single deck, but in red decks, it tends to be good. If you're doing something combat based in red, it's a good card to have. I got a few extra cards with it the other day. I was playing Aurelia. I'm running it in Aurelia equipment right now because it does give a solid amount of card draw. And now I did lose one game because I exiled my Achroma's Will and I couldn't get it back later. And that would have been like super handy. But overall, it's been very solid. The fact that it's a creature with a decent sized body. One of the problems in Aurelia now is that all the creatures are getting really small. They're all 2-mana creatures, so they're like 2/2s and stuff. Having a 3/4 is like meaty enough to do some blocking and not immediately die during attacks. So now Tectonic Giant is not Inferno Titan. If we were playing like the Inferno Titan or Magmatic Force version of the deck, we probably would have survived. Because we would have been able to shoot more of these zombies, but this deck was for Patreon supporter Ryan, and his favorite creature is Tectonic Giant. Banana, did your shirt arrive yet? I'm just curious. You're the first person to order. I just want to know how the experience went. Let me know. Big attack at a mango. Potentially lethal. I haven't seen the exact divvy of creatures here. Potentially lethal. So here, we'll take a peek at the Aurelia deck. See what I'm talking about. This is not the Aurelia deck. While they're trying to line up all their blocks. Where to go? Too many things in A. Too many decks that start with A. This is the one. Is everyone dead yet? Nope, still doing all that. Okay, so when you have... Okay, Tectonic Giant's not in this version. It's in my paper version, though. This version has the gods, which my paper version doesn't have yet. But when you have Akiri, Prophetic Flame Speaker, potentially a Tectonic Giant right here, that's a very solid amount of card draw off your creatures. I'm not running Wylith because I don't necessarily like having to move my equipment over to it, but I might. We'll give it a look at some point. There's so many things I want to get in here that it's been tough to jam everything in. I'm running about 19 creatures, and there's just like they've been printing a lot of good creatures, so choosing which 19 has become more and more difficult. Haven't seen the Goldspan Dragon yet, been wanting to test that one out, so hope to test that at some point. But we will get an updated look at this deck eventually. But the current list is looking something like this. Got a couple test cards in here. I think I want to bring this back in just because it's really annoying for opponents, and being able to destroy stuff, and just whatever you destroy, you're getting rid of something much worse than whatever the 2/4 is. So anyone dead yet? Lining up them blocks. Nope, still doing it. So one thing I have added in, I put Citadel Siege back in the paper version of the deck the other day, and it was working really well. Again, because all of the creatures are really cheap now. This is a 3/3, which is one of the bigger ones. That's a 1/3. That's a 2/2. That's a 2/2, so on and so on. So just having this in play makes them bigger, which is, it's good for attacking, but it's especially good for blocking. Your 2/2s don't block particularly well as the game goes on, so if you can make them 4/4s and 6/6s, that's enough to start deterring people or use them as attackers as needed. See Tybalt's Trickery in there. It's been a pain 50% of the time. I haven't resolved one yet, so again, still trying to test a lot of the Kaldheim cards. It's tough. This deck is so tuned that testing new cards with it is really difficult because it tends to fall in the trap of winning with the same old cards over and over again. So you need a card to be really impactful to really test it and really get a feel for it. So it has been difficult to test with this deck. So it usually involves me having to really play a lot of games to kind of get a feel and stuff. Yeah, the Dragons mode on Citadel Siege is also really powerful. And I went for cons the other day, and I'm not saying I win, but I probably don't lose if I go for Dragons based on what was happening on the board. Dragons mode is also really powerful. It's a really flexible card, so if you're just needing the power, it's handy for that. But if you're needing to protect yourself a bit, it's also useful for that. I think they're assigning the order in which damage will be assigned to blockers right now. Pretty sure that's where they're at. Oh, Sean didn't make it. Goes to -3. Champ survived at 2. Champ's probably got lethal if he untaps. Does he have 2 damage? He's got 21 mana. That's something. Looks like an X spell. Is it an X spell? It is a Cling to Dust. Exiles a creature. Okay. 9 cards in hand. What does he have? Josu Vest back to play. More zombies. Well, he's got blockers. These fly, though. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. Oh, no, he's got 12 in the air. Yeah, that's 12 in the air. How does he want to deal with that? Mango saying GG. The green siege being underplayed proves how stupid green ramp is. Yeah, the green has such an abundance of wealth with ramp that that card is very, in any other color, that card is probably played in every deck. I think they've already scooped. Nope, maybe not. He's looking for the tribal. He's looking for the Gary. Yep. Did not find the Gary. Think about this. All right, here's a question. I was thinking about this earlier today. If Cultivate was printed in any other colors and was a card in Commander Legends, how expensive is that card? Cultivate has been printed like 20 times at common in green, and it's still $1. If it was anything above common, like if it's at least an uncommon, if it's an uncommon, it's probably $5. If it's a rare, it's probably 10 at least, maybe 20. It's just 100% of decks in any other color you're gonna run a Cultivate. You want to see more Enchantress synergies in white? Yeah, it was weird. They started to dip into them, and then they changed their mind about it. I had a post on Twitter about it a few weeks ago, and Morrow actually jumped in and corrected me. I think it's like my most liked tweet ever or something like that. But I was basically saying that in the 2017 Color Pie article, the Enchantress effect, draw a card, was primary in white and I think secondary in green, but there have been like 6 green cards with the effect and like 1 or 2 in white and like maybe 2 more when you look at like aura-based draw or like Shram, cards like that, Pure Steel Paladin. But yeah, it was just like a weird it was just a weird happenstance of like it was labeled as primary, but like they had never really actually went deep into it. So Champ takes it down with a bunch of flyers. Esper Vehicles getting there, just waiting for everything to die. Man, that's the power of basically having all your creatures as artifacts that are not creatures most of the time means that the sorcery speed stuff probably not going to take down your board. And he just didn't lose much when that in Garrick's Wake went off where we lost everything. So Champ able to take it down. What are my hopes for Strixhaven? And do I like now that Boros Command has a mode to sack a creature, draw 2 cards for 5 mana? I don't like that it's 5 mana. That shuts it off from Sunforger. That does make it a little bit expensive, but I do think overall it'll be a very good card. Again, now 5 mana is tricky. Like, you know, you look at the 5 drops in this deck. Stonehewer Giant, Cavalier of Dawn, Volcanic Offering, Goldspan Dragon, and Neheb. Those are some really serious 5 drops. So does it compete with those? I'm not sure yet. Gonna need to play it, but I'm excited to see what they do design-wise. I think being that this is like a new place that we're going with kind of a new outlook on stuff, I am very excited about like what new space they're going to explore, because I think one of the problems that has kind of plagued the game a little bit, and sort of subtly, like quietly, this isn't like a major thing, but like the fact that we've kind of gone back to Ravnica every couple years and the guilds are very set in what they do, has definitely not been great for like Boros and probably some other clans too, like Gruul. I think it's probably not been the best for. And you know, Strixhaven it's an opportunity to really try to break some new ground for each of these color pairs. And so that's very exciting to me. And, you know, with the Boros Command, they're definitely going into some space that they haven't really before. It's got card draw. I forget what other modes are on there, but it definitely feels a little bit different than like most of the Boros cards that have come before it. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see where they go. I'm hoping to see something big with Flash, some finisher type of creature that you can flash down at an end step and, you know, kind of clean up the board would be super cool. But yeah, we'll see. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you guys for joining. We will stream again next week. Of course, if you like what I do, be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. And yeah, have a good night.